What if I told you the biggest thing standing between you and the life you want isn't lack of talent, money, or opportunity, but something you're giving away every single day without even realizing it? Your focus. Right now there are people out there, ordinary people, building extraordinary lives, not because they're smarter than you, not because they got lucky, but because they've mastered one skill that most people ignore. They protect their focus like it's their most valuable asset. Meanwhile, distractions are everywhere. Your phone, social media, opinions, noise, all pulling you in different directions, slowly draining your time, your energy, and your potential. And the scary part is, it feels normal, it feels harmless, but it's costing you more than you think. Because every time you lose focus, you lose momentum. And every time you lose momentum, you move further away from the life you say you want. But here's the truth. The top 1A don't live in a different world. They just operate with a different mindset. They don't let the world decide what gets their attention. They decide, and in this video, you're going to discover exactly how they do it. How they think, how they protect their time, and how they stay locked in when everyone else is distracted. So if you're tired of starting and stopping, if you're tired of feeling like you could be doing more, and if you're ready to take control of your life at a higher level than ever before, then stay with me, because what you're about to hear might change the way you see your time, your focus, and your future forever. Clarity of purpose is the foundation upon which all meaningful achievement is built, because without a clearly defined direction, effort becomes scattered and energy is wasted on things that do not truly matter. The top performers in any field operate with a precise understanding of what they want, why they want it, and what it will require from them, which allows them to filter every decision through that single lens of purpose. Instead of being pulled in multiple directions by trends, opinions, or temporary opportunities, they remain anchored to a vision that is deeply personal and non-negotiable. This clarity acts like a mental compass, guiding their daily actions and helping them distinguish between what is urgent and what is important, which are often not the same. When purpose is vague, distractions appear attractive and even justified. But when purpose is clear, distractions lose their power because they are instantly recognized as obstacles rather than opportunities. The 1A do not rely on external motivation to stay focused because their purpose generates internal drive that is far more powerful and consistent than fleeting inspiration. They take the time to define their goals in specific and meaningful terms, turning abstract desires into concrete targets that can be pursued with intention. This level of clarity also strengthens their ability to say no, which is one of the most underrated skills in maintaining focus, as every yes to something irrelevant is a no to something essential. By knowing exactly what they are building toward, they eliminate confusion, reduce decision fatigue, and create a sense of direction that simplifies even the most complex paths. Their purpose becomes a standard that holds them accountable, ensuring that their time, attention, and effort are invested where they will create the greatest impact. And as a result, they move forward with precision instead of hesitation, building momentum that compounds over time while others remain stuck in cycles of indecision and distraction. Selective attention is the disciplined ability to consciously decide what deserves your focus and what must be ignored, and it is one of the defining traits that separates high performers from those who remain stuck in constant distraction. In a world filled with endless information, opinions, opportunities, and noise, the mind is constantly being pulled in different directions, and without control, it naturally drifts toward what is easy, entertaining, or immediately rewarding, rather than what is meaningful or productive. The individuals who operate at the highest level understand that their attention is a limited resource, and they treat it with the same level of care as money or time, investing it only where it creates value. Instead of reacting to every notification, conversation, or idea that comes their way, they pause and evaluate whether it aligns with their priorities and long-term objectives. This habit allows them to maintain mental clarity and avoid the cognitive overload that often leads to stress, confusion, and poor decision-making. Selective attention also requires the ability to filter out not just external distractions, but internal ones as well, such as doubts, fears, and impulsive thoughts that can derail progress if given too much space. By training their mind to focus on what truly matters, they strengthen their concentration and deepen their engagement with the task at hand, which leads to higher quality work and faster results. This level of control does not happen by accident, but is developed through consistent practice, where one becomes increasingly aware of where their attention goes and actively redirects it when necessary. Over time, this creates a mental discipline that allows them to stay locked in even when surrounded by distractions, making it possible to sustain focus for longer periods and accomplish tasks that require deep thinking and creativity. Their ability to ignore what is irrelevant becomes just as important as their ability to focus on what is important, creating a powerful balance that enables them to move forward with intention and efficiency, while others remain overwhelmed by everything competing for their attention. Discipline over emotion is the ability to act based on commitment rather than feeling, and it is one of the most critical factors that separates consistent achievers from those who rely on bursts of motivation that quickly fade. Emotions are naturally unstable, shifting with circumstances, mood, energy levels, and external influences, which makes them an unreliable guide for long-term progress. Yet most people allow how they feel in the moment to dictate what they do, whether it is procrastinating when things feel difficult, or quitting when results are not immediate. The individuals who operate at a higher level understand that if they only worked when they felt inspired, they would rarely move forward, so they build systems and habits that keep them in motion, regardless of emotional state. They recognize that discomfort, boredom, frustration, and even self-doubt are not signals to stop, but natural parts of the process that must be managed rather than obeyed. This mindset allows them to detach their actions from temporary feelings and instead anchor them to their goals and responsibilities, creating a level of consistency that compounds over time. When discipline becomes the driving force, decisions are no longer negotiated with emotion, which eliminates hesitation and reduces the internal conflict that often drains energy and focus. They do what needs to be done even when it is inconvenient, repetitive, or challenging, because they value the outcome more than the comfort of the present moment. This approach strengthens mental toughness, as each act of discipline reinforces the belief that they are in control of their actions, not their emotions. Over time, this repeated behavior rewires their response patterns, making it easier to choose productive actions automatically without needing to rely on willpower alone. Instead of being controlled by impulses or fleeting desires, they develop a sense of command over themselves, allowing them to stay aligned with their purpose and continue progressing even in the face of resistance, setbacks, or lack of immediate reward. Environment control is the intentional hygiene of your surroundings in a way that supports your goals instead of sabotaging them. Recognizing that willpower alone is often not enough to maintain focus in the face of constant distraction. The people who consistently perform at a high level understand that their behavior is heavily influenced by what is around them, including the physical space they work in, the digital inputs they consume, and the people they interact with on a daily basis. Rather than relying on constant self-control to resist distractions, they remove or reduce those distractions altogether, making it easier to stay aligned with what matters. This can involve organizing their workspace to eliminate clutter that can fragment attention, setting clear boundaries with devices by limiting notifications or scheduling specific times for communication, and creating routines that signal to the mind when it is time to focus deeply. They are also selective about the social environments they place themselves in, choosing to spend more time with individuals who encourage growth, discipline, and accountability rather than those who promote complacency or distraction. By shaping their environment in this way, they reduce the number of decisions they need to make throughout the day, which conserves mental energy and allows them to direct more of their attention toward meaningful work. This approach acknowledges that the mind naturally adapts to its surroundings, so instead of fighting against that tendency, they use it to their advantage by building an ecosystem that reinforces productive behavior. Over time, these environmental adjustments create a powerful feedback loop where focus becomes easier, habits become more automatic, and progress becomes more consistent. Small changes such as having a dedicated space for work, controlling noise levels, or curating what content is consumed can have a significant impact on overall performance, as they reduce friction and make it more likely that the right actions are taken repeatedly. By controlling what they can in their environment, they minimize unnecessary challenges and create conditions where focus is not a constant struggle, but a natural outcome of the systems they have put in place. Consistency in action is the disciplined repetition of the right behaviors over time, regardless of mood, circumstances, or immediate results, and it is what transforms small efforts into significant outcomes. Most people underestimate the power of doing something repeatedly because they are focused on quick wins or dramatic breakthroughs, but the highest performers understand that success is rarely the result of one extraordinary moment and almost always the result of ordinary actions performed with persistence. They commit to a process and show up for it every day, even when progress feels slow or invisible, because they trust that each action is contributing to a larger accumulation of results. This approach removes the pressure to be perfect or exceptional in every attempt and instead emphasizes reliability, which is far more sustainable over the long term. By taking consistent action, they build momentum, and momentum reduces resistance, making it easier to continue moving forward. Each completed task reinforces the habit of execution, gradually strengthening their identity as someone who follows through, which becomes more powerful than relying on temporary motivation. Consistency also sharpens skills over time, as repeated exposure to the same effort allows for refinement, learning, and improvement, turning average performance into excellence through iteration. It creates a compounding effect where the benefits of each action stack on top of one another, leading to exponential growth that may not be visible at first, but becomes undeniable over time. Instead of being discouraged by a lack of immediate results, they remain focused on the process, understanding that progress often happens beneath the surface before it becomes visible. This mindset protects them from the emotional highs and lows that come from chasing instant gratification, allowing them to remain steady and committed. They prioritize showing up over feeling inspired, knowing that action itself often generates the motivation needed to continue. By making consistency non-negotiable, they eliminate gaps in effort that can break momentum and delay progress, creating a rhythm of productivity that becomes part of their daily routine and ultimately defines the difference between those who start strong and those who actually finish what they begin. Mental resilience is the ability to maintain focus, composure, and forward movement despite challenges, setbacks, and external pressures, and it is what allows individuals to stay committed to their goals when circumstances become difficult or uncertain. In any meaningful pursuit, obstacles are inevitable, whether they come in the form of failure, criticism, slow progress, or unexpected disruptions, and without resilience, these moments can easily break concentration and lead to doubt or withdrawal. Those who operate at a higher level understand that adversity is not an exception but a normal part of the journey, so they prepare themselves mentally to handle it without losing direction. Instead of reacting emotionally to every setback, they develop the capacity to pause, assess the situation objectively, and continue taking action based on their long-term vision rather than temporary discomfort. This ability to stay grounded under pressure prevents them from being derailed by negativity, whether it comes from within their own thoughts or from external sources such as opinions and criticism. They train their mind to remain focused on solutions rather than problems, which allows them to adapt and adjust without losing momentum. Mental resilience also involves the ability to recover quickly from disappointments, using them as learning experiences rather than reasons to stop, which strengthens confidence over time. Each challenge they overcome reinforces their belief in their own capacity to handle future difficulties, creating a cycle where resilience continues to grow stronger. This does not mean they are unaffected by stress or frustration, but rather that they do not allow those feelings to control their actions or define their path. They build habits that support mental strength, such as maintaining perspective, practicing patience, and staying connected to their purpose, which helps them remain steady even in unpredictable situations. By developing this level of inner stability, they are able to protect their focus from being disrupted by chaos or pressure, allowing them to continue progressing while others become overwhelmed or distracted by the same circumstances. As we come to the end of this message, remember this: your life moves in the direction of your focus. Every dream you have, every goal you set, every level you want to reach, all of it depends on what you choose to give your attention to each day. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise to the top is not luck or talent. It is the ability to stay focused when it's easier to drift. When you gain clarity of purpose, when you control what you pay attention to, when you choose discipline over emotion, when you shape your environment, when you stay consistent, and when you build mental resilience, you step into a different level of living. You stop reacting to life and start directing it. You stop being controlled by distractions and start controlling your destiny. This is not about being perfect, it's about being intentional every single day, even in the smallest actions, because those small actions compound into powerful results over time. Protect your focus, and you protect your future. Thank you for taking the time to be here and invest in yourself. I truly wish you strength, clarity, and unstoppable focus on your journey ahead. Stay committed, stay disciplined, and, most importantly, believe in what you're capable of achieving. Good luck. You've got everything it takes to win.